So 2021 has finally arrived, and it feels exactly the same as 2020 because it is at the moment. But for cinema, hopefully if they're open, that means all those films that got pushed back from 2020 to 2021 will actually release this year. So I thought I'd basically go through my watch list of ones I'm most looking forward to and give my thoughts on each one for you guys. These are in no real particular order. I'm literally going to be rattling off from the top of my head and sort of half checking my IMDb watch list at the same time. So yeah, without further ado, these are the films I am most looking forward to watching, hopefully, this year. So firstly, we have the big one, No Time to Die, the latest in the James Bond franchise. I actually went through quite a few of the Bonds this year and went through the Craig ones again in anticipation for this film as it kept getting pushed back. But anyway, it's coming out in April now this year, so hopefully. Yeah, can't wait for that. I liked Spectre, I didn't love it, but Skyfall and Casino Royale are just brilliant. The less said about Quantum of Solace, probably the better. But I can't wait for No Time to Die. It just looks incredible. The cinematography, the visual style of it, the tone, atmosphere. Can't wait for that. That one is probably up there in the top 3 of my actually most anticipated ones of this year. Next we have Denis Villeneuve's Dune, which probably is my most anticipated this year. Villeneuve is one of my favourite directors of all time after his excellent past few films, Blade Runner 2049, Enemy, Prisoners, Arrivals, Sicario, the list just goes on. Dune is something I've never really been too familiar with, but I've always been intrigued by. This looks fantastic, can't wait to see that on the big screen. Of James Gunn's Suicide Squad, reboot, sequel, whatever it is, set in the DC Extended Universe, which is kind of all over the place in terms of continuity, but who cares? Obviously, Guardians of the Galaxy is great. Gunn seems like a really cool guy, and he has a unique vision. And I can't wait to see him bring like an R-rated edge to these characters. Just the behind-the-scenes sort of featurette looks like a blast. And I love the attitude and tone of the character reveal reel of all the obscure and lower-tier characters that no one really gives a crap about normally. Can't wait for it. It should be a blast. And we have Last Night in Soho by Edgar Wright. There really isn't too much about this, apart from the fact that it's going to be more of a noirish horror thriller, which is a bit of a large step away from his recent offerings, where he's always leaned into comedy and more action-heavy aspects. But Wright doing a more serious, appealing thriller sounds like a great thing, and I'm very much looking forward to it. The Quiet Place Part 2, again, was originally supposed to be March or April last year, if you can believe it. First one's excellent. It's due a rewatch, actually. So yeah, this one should be great. A few new additions to the cast as well, should be interesting. But if it's anything as good as the first one, I'm all for it. And the cat has entered the frame. And then we also have The Little Things, starring Denzel Washington, Rami Malek and Jared Leto, which actually only got a trailer literally last week, I believe. Looks very similar in the vein of Seven, so I am all for that, as that's one of my favourite films of all time. Should hopefully be good. I believe that's February here, so not too long to wait. As much as the original was very mediocre, I am looking forward to Venom Let There Be Carnage, as ridiculous and goofy as that title suggests. I will be there for it day one. Carnage and Venom are like just huge nostalgia characters for me, and Woody Harrelson is an excellent pick for Cletus Kasady. I just really hope they don't embrace too much of the goofiness of it and like the silly aspects that the first one have, because Carnage is just not that character at all. But I'll be very interested to see what Woody Harrelson brings to the role. At least it may, well, hopefully just will be a fun watch and just at least make it hopefully a dumb fun watch if you are going to sort of embrace the weirdness of the first. Then we have Nobody, starring Bob Odenkirk. This looks like John Wick. Bob Odenkirk's a great actor. That's all it is, really. I'm sure it'll be a solid action flick, I hope. Looking forward to seeing that in March. Top Gun Maverick. I haven't actually seen the original Top Gun. I will get around to it this year before the new one comes out. Like Mission Impossible films, I just think are fantastic, the last 3. And if Cruise brings that same energy and clear dedication for the project to the actual real-life plane stunts and everything in Top Gun, I'm sure it'll be a really entertaining watch. The trailer, I think, looks excellent, sort of bringing that classic 80s cheese, but like modernising it into current times, but still also keeping a retro feel. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I will definitely be checking it out. Even though superhero fatigue may be setting in a bit now, I will still be watching all the Marvel flicks, probably day one if I can, like Black Widow, Shang-Chi, the Untitled Spider-Man third film, Eternals. I believe that's all of them for this year. But yeah, I'll be watching all those, even though I'm not like fully excited about them and stuff. Spider-Man is personally the most interesting one. That's purely for nostalgia purposes, with Alfred Molina and potentially Tobey Maguire and stuff showing up in it. Old, the new M. Night Shyamalan film, seems like a very intriguing and more back to his horror roots or thriller roots perspective, so that should be also an interesting one. Again, not really much released about that except the poster for it. The Green Knight, the latest one from A24, who've just produced some of my favourite films in recent years. This looks like a really psychologically thriller-heavy take on the fantasy genre, which I'm 100% down for. Been waiting a long while for this one, as it had a trailer ages ago last year and was supposed to release last year, but obviously then got delayed. Can't wait for that. Halloween Kills, the next installment of the sort of sequely reboot Halloween series. I actually rewatched the 2018 one last year for Halloween. I still liked it. I used to love it when I first saw it at the cinema, but it was a little bit disappointing this time around compared to just watching the original again. However, this should be a solid sequel. I've heard the body count is even higher and the kills even bloodier, which you can't go wrong for in a slasher movie. Speaking of slasher movies, the Candyman reboot as well is another film I'm very much looking forward to. And a couple of others to end it on. Jackass, look, I love those guys. I think they're hilarious. The chemistry is just unbeatable. And it's going to be strange without Ryan Dunn coming back, but I am certainly interested to see what they've come up with for what is probably going to be their last film. And lastly, the Resident Evil reboot, which actually just finished wrapping filming, I believe, a couple of days ago, sticking far more into the game lore and atmosphere, which is a relief, because those Paul W.S. Anderson films were just a bit all over the place, even though some of them are good, dumb fun. But yeah, very much looking forward to that in September this year. That's all my rambling thoughts of films coming out this year that I'm looking forward to. There are several others that I'm definitely going to see, but these ones are the most notable to me. So let me know in the comments what your guys' most anticipated films are for this year, and whether or not you think they're actually all going to be released this year. As always, guys, please like, comment, subscribe. I will speak to you again soon on the next video, and have a good new year. Cheers.